After college, I used my love of how the human brain and body improves to put my butt over the fire, teaching classes of students and clients how to learn some incredibly complex skills, with the one rule: if the student fails to learn, it is my fault no matter what. As a scientist and a teacher, these are the 3 biggest cheat codes I've learned. In a video game, you are usually given some very specific quests that you can go out on. You know exactly what they are and what to do. But in the game of life, you're not given anything. There is, in fact, an infinite number of quests that you can go on at any moment. And probably one of the hardest things to do is knowing what ones to pick. And as controversial as it is that people want you to pick some very clear direction right now and have some sort of 5-year plan written out, when you're either in pursuit of a goal or when you're just young, as a book titled Range: Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World, or the Learning to Learn principle that educational studies done at places like UCLA, or even the Dark Horse experiment done at Harvard all explain, is people who experience a variety of different fields requiring different skill sets. These people often gain a lot more skills, a variety of upgrades that are highly transferable between whatever it is that they decide to do, which allows them to advance through problems that they encounter later a lot faster. Eventually, there does come a time in our lives where we do want to pick a major quest line to go out on, and when we do this, that in the game of life, we want to be directionally correct. No one, especially in the beginning, knows exactly what they are going to need. You really don't know what's going to come up and what skills or quests you're going to have to go out on in order to advance. I didn't realize in middle school that as Mr. Speech Impediment, I was one day going to be given the main quest line called Learn How to Speak Fluently, because I didn't realize at the time that when I entered into high school and started to train myself out of my speech impediments, I was going to realize that I absolutely love seeing people improve. I love being able to communicate science or tried and true ideas to people that would make them better, and I also didn't want to sit in a cubicle for the rest of my life, and those speaking skills I gained helped me tremendously on my own personal quest line when I was working in healthcare and then when I started working as a teacher. Being directionally correct and ready to go out and pivot to whatever different quest lines come up is a really good thing. And in doing this, we want to heavily ignore all the other random quest lines that people think you should go out on. This involves the more sexy looking drinking quest lines, the partying quest lines, the going out and ordering shots and eating wings every night of the week after work, because these quest lines horribly waste your life points. They get you nothing in return. You simply want to ignore all the random side quests. Ultimately, it really comes down to setting boundaries. Not feeling bad for not doing all the other fancy looking side quests that really just serve to distract you. Don't waste your precious life points looking back on things that you're not even gonna wish that you did, instead of battling dragons. It's a lot harder, but a lot more worth it. The second cheat code. This one really hits home with a lot of what I do, and it's that we have to consistently fail in order to level up. The funny thing I notice about video games is whenever you succeed, that's when you move forward in the game, and failures gain you no XP and you really just end up staying the same. However, in life, it's reversed. Successes keep you the same, while failures force you to learn and change. So in life, we have to get really good at how we fail. What do I mean? You see, in a video game, it's really easy to just hurl yourself at whatever problems you're facing. You can keep dying and coming back over and over and over again with zero repercussions of what happens to you. In life, it's not quite like that. We don't have endless lives or instant heals if we go too far. I'm thinking about some clients who have come to me who want to be stunt actors. If I make them fail so badly, that means they will break a leg or an arm and they are essentially taken out of the game for the next 6 months or forever. In the real world, learning is an error correction process that we do without killing ourselves. And this is where I give students the major cheat code that I lean on, probably the most out of anything, that we can call the Goldilocks zone or just the golden zone, that I can make extremely simple by asking you if something is easy, medium, or hard. If it's easy, that means that the thing that you're doing isn't that stimulating for you and your brain. You can more or less already do the thing. If it's medium, this is the golden zone. This is where you can fail without breaking a leg, and the errors are just big enough that you can fail and correct them on the next try. However, if you go to the thumbs down territory being hard, this is very bad, because the higher up you go in difficulty, the bigger any existing errors you have get and the more numerous they become. And this is where you can overload your brain in the game, where the hard zone is a place where it is very difficult for you and your brain to identify everything that went wrong. You will know when you keep failing spectacularly over and over and over again and make virtually zero progress. The most major cheat code I can give anybody is we need to find a place where you can fail and correct your errors without taking yourself out of the game, or otherwise just stalling out and making zero progress. I am not saying it lightly when I say that the only people I am literally not able to work with is the instant winning now people. People that come to me or a lot of the other major coaches for movement that I know, and they want the magic phrase to go from nothing to a backflip right now. These people who can't mentally handle doing one gosh darn step towards getting a backflip, and instead they stand there and glare at you, go home, and nearly break their neck trying to do the move in one go. And this brings us to the third cheat code. Master your specific skill tree. Unlike many video games where you may be stuck as a mage or warrior or some dude swinging around a lightsaber, life is a highly customizable game where you can go out and more or less get any skill that you want. You can literally bling out your character with all manner of different skills. You just don't have all the time in the world. This isn't about giving people false hope. It's about understanding that your brain is capable of learning any skill that you could want. We just need to get really good at identifying if that skill is a necessary part of your skill tree for you to spend your time on. As a teacher, quite possibly my favorite thing is seeing the look on someone's face when they realize they can be awesome, that they can do all of these crazy skills. So learning how to talk for me was very important, not learning how to play the piano. And I find that a lot of people tend to draw a line in the sand really early for themselves and for others. If you want to take a certain path and you know a skill is something you need, go out and get it. Do not let somebody stop you from getting it. I had many teachers who knew me in school that thought that I should just get a job in a cubicle and never say anything to anyone. Somewhere out there right now is a low-budget Rainbow Six-like indie game where I voiced every line for all of the bad guys who run at you screaming, guns a-blazing, hurling out grenades as you desperately try to take over the building and stop all of them. In fact, this is what actually makes you valuable. In gathering a variety of different skills on your own unique skill tree, you will end up stacking different combinations of skills that other people don't have. No one skill differentiates you. It's stacking skills. It's the different combination of them that makes you unique. Video games tend to be finite games. They have an ending. Life is an infinite game. The goal is to just keep playing and play better. This is why we really want to enjoy the journey of gaining more skills and seeing how that affects you, rather than just trying to take some shortcut. There is no final boss and no cap to how leveled up you can become. But if none of this was very interesting, then I saved one fact for last. The cheat code that I heard long ago is you can get anything you want by simply helping people, period. Because if you get really good at helping people who have a questline that is really similar to yours and help them advance, you will then gain allies. Allies who sometimes give you information, items, even money, and will not only help you advance your own questline a lot faster, but you'll fall asleep at night being rather pleased with your day. And for anyone looking how to run through their skill tree faster, then